Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I want to talk to you about how your energy can make your dog be calm. I saw something at the weekend which was just amazing, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it really showed how to get your dog to be nice and calm and how to create a crazy, out of control dog. So I was driving along. We're going to look at my little Harry here while I tell you my story, having his little sunbathe. We were driving along and saw this field, and there were 3 horses in it. And whenever I see something like that, if I can, I will stop so that my dogs can look out the window at them, and it just gets them used to it. And then if you ever come across a horse on our walk, it's not a big deal because they're used to seeing them. So there was a car park in front of the field, so I pulled into it and we were watching these horses, 3 really big horses, and we were watching them, and they didn't move, so we were watching them for about 15 minutes, and they didn't really move. They were eating grass and looked at us now and again, but couldn't have cared less. And then I realised that either side of me there were dog fields. So if you're not in the UK, you might not know, but a dog field is, so someone buys a piece of land and they make it a really, really secure so that you pay by the hour, and then you take your dog there, and there's no way they can get out of it. And it's normally a couple of acres big, and they have agility equipment in there and stuff like that. And it's a really, really good idea. It's a brilliant place. I take my dogs there sometimes to different ones. So I noticed that either side of me, there were these fields. So we're in the middle in the car park, and there's the horses in front of me. And then it was 9 o'clock, and so the new people were going to come for the 9 o'clock slot. And all these cars started coming in. So there were about 6 cars coming in. And I could hear one of the cars had dogs barking in it. And I could hear this man just shouting at them really bad. And then 3 of the cars went to one side of me, and then the other 3 cars went to the other side of me. And the cars that were to the right of me, they all got out of the car to go into the field. And the dogs were barking. And when they got out of the car, they didn't get out nicely. They just jumped out of the car and they were spinning on their leads and really, really crazy excited. And all the owners were shouting, and one of the owners was saying to the other owner, "Oh, he's bloody playing up again, is he?" And yeah, he's playing up, he's been really bad. And it was just really, the atmosphere of it was just really bad, really bad. And it was horrible, and the dogs were crazy. Hello, darling. And the dogs were being all crazy, and it was just awful. And the dogs all dragged the owners into the field, and they were let off the lead, and they were just running around crazy, barking, and it was just awful. And the owners were so stressed. They were really stressed. It was horrible. Just horrible. Remember, the horses are right in front of me at this point. Still got 3 horses in front of me. And to the left of me, out of each car, got a lady. So there were 3 ladies, and they all had a dog. And they all just quietly got out of their cars, didn't really say much to each other, politely said hello to each other or whatever. The dogs all calmly got out of the cars. The dogs were clearly excited to be there, and they were looking forward to getting into the field. But it was just calm, it was quiet. It was calm and quiet and just lovely. And then that set of calm people went into the field, let the dogs off. And the dogs just were mooching about, sniffing around, nice and quietly and calm. Really calm and really nice. And I just sat there for a minute, just watching. And then I realised that the horses had all moved to be in front of the calm group of people. They'd completely moved away from the bad energy of the crazy people. And the crazy people, their energy was so bad, I could feel it coming through the car at me. It was really strong. And these horses had just moved away from it. Now, I don't know anything at all about horses, but I can tell you that they definitely were reacting to the horrible bad energy coming from that field. And then a really amazing thing happened. For some reason, if something to do with the agility equipment, the 2 sets of people needed to switch positions. So they just switched over, completely switched fields. Remember, the whole time the horses were in front of the nice calm field. And then they moved, they switched over, And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The horses moved away from where they were, because that's where all the bad, crazy energy had moved to. And they moved over to be back in front of the calm people. Now, when it first happened, I thought, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence. Like I said, I don't know anything about horses. I thought, oh, maybe it was just they didn't want to be near them, or they wanted to eat something over there, or something like that. But when they moved again away from the bad energy, I knew then that the horses definitely were reacting to that bad energy. And it just amazed me, because I have talked about energy on this. I talk actually quite a lot about energy. I think it's incredibly important. I think how your energy is how your dogs will react. And dogs, you know, they can't talk. They don't understand the language you're talking. So all they have is your energy. And your energy is, so whatever you are thinking, that's what you feel. And whatever you feel, that is the energy you'll have. And clearly with the owners, with the crazy pit dogs and all of that, they were just so stressed by what was going on. That's what they were feeling, and then therefore their very stressed energy was coming out of them straight to the dogs, and then straight to the horses. And I thought that was incredibly powerful, because there was no question about it. The horses felt that bad energy, and they knew they didn't like it, and they knew they had to get away from it. And I bet you, if the dogs had a choice, they would have much rather been in the calm field than being in the crazy field. And also in the calm field, they would have behaved, I bet they would have behaved really, really well. But in the crazy field, they just weren't. Now, please don't think for 1 second that I'm judging anybody here, because I'm not. I'm really not. We've all got, you know, stressed and frustrated with our dogs. We've all done it. We've all been there, and I'm not judging anybody for this. I think for the people with the crazy field, it must have been absolutely awful for them, and it must have been a dreadful time for them. And I didn't stay there for much longer and watch, because, you know, I was starting to look weird. But in the time I saw, it was just craziness. And when they did the switch, it was the same thing. The dogs first of all, the dogs wouldn't come back. They needed to get them on the lead to move them. Their dogs wouldn't come back. They had to chase them around the field, which is just really not good. But when they finally did get them, and there was so much shouting at them, and when they did get the dogs, they were shouting at them, and it was horrible. But yet when the calm people, they just calmly called their dogs over, put them on the lead, and they walked nicely across to go to the other field. And before anybody thinks this, there was nothing, I mean, yeah, it wasn't a nice way to treat a dog. It wasn't nice for the dogs. But there was no way there was anything going on that, you know, I needed to intervene with. I've intervened lots before and will do without hesitation. There was nothing like that. But it wasn't very nice for the dogs. There's no question about that. And but more, you know, it wasn't nice for the owners either. For the owners in the stress field, that really, really, really wasn't nice. Plus, if they were driving the whole time with the dogs barking and they were shouting, it's not safe. But I just thought it was incredible how the energy affected the dogs and the horses. That's really stuck with me. Now, I'm quite hot on energy, because I really, really believe in it, and I just know that my dogs are lovely and calm, because I keep everything nice and calm. And I've talked about this before as well, and I'm really, you know, absolutely strict about this. The house has to be calm, and if anybody comes into it and they don't cause calm, then they're out. You know, I don't, it's not up for discussion. My dogs are all kept really calm, and my house is kept really calm. And so I did know about energy, but I just see it there. Now, like I said, I don't know about horses. So if you know about horses, can I really, really would love to hear your opinion on this. Because the other thing is, I was looking at the horses, and I was thinking, if that horse doesn't want to do something, there is no way on this planet you're going to make it. No way. So everything you have to do with the horse has to be energy, because otherwise, how would you get it to do anything? It has to be energy, surely. And I'm actually going to start looking into, you know, how you behave around horses, how you get horses to do stuff, because it has to surely all be about energy. And I'm really, really interested in that. And I know, so I do a lot of training for T-Touch, and that's very much based on horses, but then translated over to dogs. And I know there's some stuff on there that I do with my boys that it was originally created for horses. And so I would imagine that horses are very, very in tune with energy. But please, if you know about horses, could you just... I'm really interested in a couple of things. I want to know, do you think the horses moved from the bad energy, and it wasn't just a coincidence of what I was saying? Did they feel that bad energy and move from it? I'd also be quite interested to know, because the dogs were barking a lot, so there was a lot of barking, the people were shouting, and it was all like that. Were they moving from the barking and the shouting, or were they moving from the energy? I'd be really interested to know that. And then, yeah, I just thought it's so interesting. And then it made me think, if I got my boys out now and we went into one of the fields, would the horses stay with me? I like to think they would, but I don't know that. And I think that it's just something. So that, you know, I saw that on Saturday, it's Tuesday now, and I've just often thought to myself as I'm doing my days, would the horses stay with me now? And I really think they would. I work hard at energy. I really work hard at it. I'm such a believer in it. But the thing I hadn't really anticipated was how it affects other species of animals. I know it affects other dogs. I've seen that. I've definitely seen that. Dogs definitely, you know, are drawn to a calm pack rather than a crazy pack. I've definitely 100% seen that. But other species of animals. I think the other thing that shook me about it was that these horses were so big. Absolutely massive. And yet they were still bothered by the energy of creatures that were so much smaller than them. So yeah, just really interesting. I really thought it was interesting. But also, don't ever think that if you're angry with your dog, it's not affecting him, because it is. Or if you're anxious, that it's not affecting him, because it is. And I've talked about this a lot, but when you're walking your dog, whatever you're feeling, it's going straight down that lead. There is no question in my mind that how you're feeling is going straight down that lead. So if you want a calm dog, you have to be calm. It doesn't matter how naughty the dog is being. It doesn't matter how annoying he is. It doesn't matter. You will never get your dog to be calm if you're not calm. I 100% without question know that. And it was there. It was there as clear as day to see. But I'm really interested in the fact of how it affected those other creatures, those massive horses, picked up on that energy and didn't want anything to do with it. I thought that was really interesting. So, can I show you something? Let me show you something. I bought myself a sun lounger this weekend, which makes me laugh because I really don't have time to lounge around in the sun, ever. But anyway, I bought myself a sun lounger, this sun lounger, and we seem to have somebody nicked it. He loves it. It hasn't got a cushion on it because it's been raining. But he loves it, don't you, darling? You love it, sweetheart. He does love it. So, yeah, please let me know what you think about my little story. Am I right or am I wrong? All right, that's it for today then. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Hope your dogs are all well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.